Now, I want you to pay really close attention to this page because there are over 20 errors on this page. The errors are in spelling, punctuation, grammar, and formatting. So as I read through this list, see how many you can spot. And then at the very end, I will show you all the errors on this page. So, number one, you want to use highly descriptive words. So, vivid adjectives and adverbs, precise verbs and nouns. And here's a real life example. If someone asks you, "How are you doing today?" What would you answer? Like, what do you commonly respond with? If you said, "I'm good" or "I'm fine," that's not very descriptive. People don't really know how you feel when you just say, "I'm good" or "I'm fine." They can tell by the tone of your voice. So if you say, "Oh, I'm good" versus "I'm good," but when you're writing, the reader can't hear your voice, so they don't know your tone. But if you wrote that you feel exhausted, people know what exhaustion feels like. Or if you wrote, "I feel magnificent," they might start smiling just like I did. So use highly descriptive words. Give detailed definitions about your subject. Provide examples. Use compare and contrast. How's what you're writing about similar or how is it different from what you're writing about? Include facts or statistics. People like learning stuff. And if all else fails, think about sensory details. How can you write about how something looks, smells, sounds, tastes, and feels? That is how you can elaborate when you're writing. Now, the other thing you want to make sure you do when you're writing is pay attention. Now, if you want to pause and see how many errors you can spot, pause now because I'm about to tell you all the errors on this page. Starting with number one, there's no space between the one and use. And then all those words that are capitalized, highly descriptive words, definitions, example, compare, contrast, facts, sensory details, those are common nouns. They should be lowercase. And they are underlined and in italics. If you want to put emphasis on a word, that is completely fine, but choose one, not italics and underline. Now, vivid adjectives, adverbs, that is not a thing. Those are two separate elements. So there should be a comma there. Then the semicolon, shouldn't be there. After verbs, there should be a comma. And after nouns, there should be a period. And number two, give detailed definitions of the subject. It's wrong preposition. It should be about. And then we don't need to repeat or detail. Or it would read as give detailed or detail. Doesn't make any sense. And then in number four, comparison and or contrast. Well, we want to make sure we use matching words. So it should be compare, contrast, and then and or, but not both. And then on my list where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, wrong number. Statistics is spelled wrong in real number 5 that says number 6. And then number 6, the real one, it says use sensory details that appeals. That is the wrong subject verb agreement. So it should be sensory details that appeal. And then the number 5 is spelled out in word form. Well, it should be spelled out in word form when we use small numbers. And then that part at the very bottom where it says find the errors with the S in parentheses, the S shouldn't be in parentheses, and there also needs to be in punctuation there. So a whole lot of errors on this page, which is why it's also really important to reread your work and revise it.